Imagine a time before this vessel was forgotten to the world. Imagine it sailing upon the ocean in all its splendor, the places it's been, the world it has seen, and now it lies slumped on its side, floating here in the waters just offshore, forgotten by life, forgotten to the world. Its time was before ours, before our time, lost to the past, and the story of its life is over now, forgotten. But if we choose to, we can remember, we can imagine, we can look back into the history of time and view this floating wreckage not just as the corpse of an old boat, unwanted by the world anymore, but it had a life just like you do, and it served its purpose just like you try to do. And maybe its life is done, but maybe there's something here worth salvaging. Maybe its life is not quite over just yet. Maybe there's something here that we can save, something destined to be both part of the past and of the future, something old and new. So let's not give up on this just yet. Let's not leave this old wreckage forgotten to the world. Maybe there's something we can salvage. Maybe. I think if we're going to try to rescue, to salvage that old boat, we're going to need somewhere to restore it, somewhere to work on it. Can't just leave it floating out there, can we, Gigi? There's more to its life yet. I really like this idea of taking something old or broken and restoring it. I love people who do that for a job or, for a passion. Take old objects lost to history and give them a new life. Those objects, to me, always feel more how would you describe it? Almost like they have more character. They have more of a soul, more of an essence, compared to something modern and cheap and plastic and manufactured very soullessly by comparison. Those old objects, they've lasted, they've seen things, they've been around. They've been used and misused, and they've survived. Anyway, I imagine our bees are sleeping right now, and maybe we too should have a little sleep, return to our thoughts in the morning. So, I think if we're going to restore the ship, where is it? Oh, it's somewhere out there. Yeah, if we're going to restore that ship, I think we're going to need some kind of shipwright's workshop. But I think first step is probably to build ourselves a small little workshop here up at the camp, just so we can make use of some of the create machines. And I'm thinking something small, just a one-room little workshop in the side of the hill there. And we can extend the path down, get rid of this, and the front would be here. So I think this will do the job. It's close to our storage area, so we can have quick access to anything we need. Just grab it from here, take it into the workshop. Yeah. But in the spirit of salvaging the lost and the forgotten, I already designed a workshop a long time ago in our previous world, and I think it would fit perfectly here in our new world. So let me gather the things we need and recreate that little workshop. I wonder how many of you remember this workshop. It was quite a while ago now. An entire world away. But it served its purpose for us back then, so why not now again? I think it fits quite nicely here in the side of the hill. And our little camp is expanding. And I like it. It's still small. It's still cozy. It's not too imposing on the land just yet, but it's growing. And this organic growth where, as we need each new step in the progression of the game, we add to it. It organically grows from nothing. Yeah, that's something I really enjoy. I don't really like to plan out how everything's going to be from the start. Big grand mega bases and things. I like it to just organically grow with me, with us, as we need the next thing, the next building, the next utility, the next step. And that way none of us know how it's going to turn out. It just will be what it will be. Anyway, there's not a lot in here, but it's enough for what we need it for. We've got the mechanical press for making plates. It's like one of the first machines from Create. And yeah, just a stone cutter. I've retextured, well, I didn't retexture, I downloaded a resource pack that retextures the crafting bench because it's Probably one of the ugliest textures to me. Yeah, and this kind of looks like a planning area with a table saw in it and a plank of wood here being cut to size. Yeah. It's a pretty small little workshop, but it's just enough for now. Because this is what we needed. We needed the mechanical press for making plates. Because we need the plates for super glue. If I'm going to try and move that ship, we're going to need some of this stuff. But we also need slime balls. And there is a way in Create to get slime from dough. Yeah, dough. So maybe we do this, or maybe we go find a swamp and hunt some slimes. I'm not sure, I'll see what I feel like. Well, there's a swamp. Wasn't too far. I like a walk anyway. Gives me time to clear my head and have a think. Just like in real life. I was thinking this the other day, going for a walk by myself. I think it is such a skill to enjoy your own company. I think a lot of people don't just enjoy the company of others, but need the company of others. And that's okay. Oh, yeah, speaking of others, the problems of others. I'm like, this is not a nice relaxing walk, guys. This has become a very stressful walk. There we go, that's better. Yeah, I enjoy the company of others. I think it's important to enjoy the time you spend with other people. It's meaningful, or at least it should be, if you spend quality time with others. But you can't always spend time with others, and you can't rely on that. And I think so many people make great effort to spend quality time with others, and forget to spend quality time with themselves. I think we have a notion, an understanding that if we are by ourselves... What's in here? Hello? Why can't I open this? Oh, it's just lagging. Yeah. Well, it's something. It's treasure, I suppose. What's in this one? More of the same. What was I saying? Yeah. I think we have this notion that if we are by ourselves, we are alone. And being alone is often equated to being lonely. And it certainly can be. I'm not disregarding the feeling of loneliness. I think we're all susceptible to that. But being alone and being by yourself doesn't necessarily have to mean you're lonely. I think instead of looking at it as being alone, to change your perspective and see it as spending time with yourself. Like you would with anyone, like you would with a good friend. And I think to be your own good friend is something we can probably all do a little bit better. Me too. Well, I realized nothing was spawning because it wasn't nighttime, but now they are. There's a slime. That's what we came here for. God, this tree's massive. big old swamp tree. We're not going to need much slime. Just a few. And then we can head back. Oh. God. I mean, assuming we don't die out here. I can't be bothered to walk all the way back. There we go. I could look for another slime, but we don't really need to. Should probably head home. It's not a very big swamp, this. Just kind of on the shore. But even still, it's got atmosphere, especially with the rain. Moody, murky, muddy swamp. No, it's nice, but I definitely prefer the area we found. I think we should... Yeah, okay, we're going. Well, I think it's time to salvage the forgotten. I'll put together a few things with the machinery we've just made, and maybe we can sort maneuvering the old ship off its side and get it floating again. We'll get it up on shore and give it a new life, a fresh start. Just because something is old doesn't mean it needs to be unwanted, discarded, and thrown aside. Just because it already lived a life before you doesn't mean it's irrelevant or deserves any less consideration or thought from us. I think we're very wasteful as a people. We look forward, and that's a positive. We face forward and we press on into the future, but that doesn't mean that anything old, anything from the past, is worth less. These objects, these things, these entities existed in a different time to us, when things were different, life was different, and life changes. Sometimes it changes very fast, too fast, and it can be difficult to keep up with. But I think we have a bit of a duty to bring the past with us and not neglect it and leave it behind. It's important to move forward. It's important to progress and grow and learn new things and change for the better, hopefully. But we should bring everything with us, not just discarded things that don't fit anymore. Because where are they supposed to live? What are they supposed to do in this new world where everything's different? I think we often like to think we're so much better, wiser, more righteous now in our ways than the past. But what is truly better, kinder, more benevolent of a thing to do is to bring the past with us. Help it change. Help it learn and adapt. It's easier for you. It's harder for the past to change, for the old to change. So, let us be kind and salvage the forgotten. Let us bring the past with us and help it to adapt and change, to renew itself, to be better, for us all to be better. Well, there she is, the old boat, turned right way up once again. We all need help sometimes, lifting ourselves back up when we slump down. But she'll sail again now, on the open waters. I'll make sure of it. But I think that'll be the next chapter of this story. I have some plans for how we can restore the boat and a shipwright's workshop with all the tools we need to bring this forgotten vessel back to life. Some things are worth saving. Some things need not be lost to the past.